my next kill. I'll make their life
Hey everybody, Strider's back with another daily high ELO casting. Starting right off, we have the red team with a Nocturne, Irelia, Sivir, Cassiopeia, and Janna versus the blue team who has Ezreal, Malphite, Dr. Mundo, Ahri, and Sona. So starting at top lane, we have Irelia versus the Malphite. Now, Irelia mains top and Malphite mains caster. So it's going to be a little bit tricky as far as who's going to win that particular lane, but the Irelia has played over 100 games with a almost 61% chance of winning. Malphite's only been played by this person twice, but as 100%. I'm definitely going to go ahead and give top lane to the Irelia just because I think she will have a little bit more of an advantage over Malphite with the knowledge and just the overall experience, as well as still a very high win rate with that champion. If you look at mid lane, it's going to be Cassiopeia versus Ahri. Now, Cassiopeia mains caster, while Ahri mains top. Cassiopeia has been played by this person about 50 times with the 52% win rate, and Ahri's been played by this person never with a 0% win rate, of course. So I am going to have to give this matchup to the Cassiopeia because somebody that's never played Ahri is going to have difficulties against somebody that has a lot of main mid experience as well as over 50 games with a champion. Definitely looks like the red team has a little bit of the advantage so far, but if we take a look at the jungle, we have Nocturne versus Mundo. Both of these players actually main jungle, so that's going to be good. The Nocturne has played over 70 games with Nocturne at 63% win rate, and Mundo has played him about 40 times with a 59% win rate. Overall, I'm definitely going to have to give this to the Nocturne. I think Nocturne is an incredibly strong jungler, and just with the added experience, I really think that red team will be able to take the jungle as well. But now bottom lane, one of the most important lanes, it's going to be Ezreal and Sona versus Sivir and Janna. Sivir mains AD carry when Ezreal mains jungle, so this is going to inherently give the Sivir the advantage. And Sivir is going to have 31 games played with 64% win rate, which is really high for Sivir. And Ezreal has played him 3 times with a 33% win rate. That's not looking too good for them. Janna mains support, but also so does Sona, so that's really good to have. Janna's played 450 games about with Janna at a 53% win rate, and Sona's been played also a ridiculous amount of times, almost 200 times with 61% win rate, and that's huge. That's a really, really big percentage. But Janna does have more experience, and I think that the experience that Sivir has over the Ezreal is definitely going to give a huge advantage to the red team. So I really think red team is just going to overall win this game, hands down. But if you take a look at the overall win-loss percentage from everybody, it looks like the red team has a 55.92% chance of winning, and the blue team has a 60.08% chance of winning. I'm going to go against the numbers and say that the red team is going to win this because of the individual plays. So let's go ahead and jump into the game and see what happens. Hey everybody, Strider's back with another daily high ELO casting, and again we have another arcade Sona. She is the woman of my dreams, to say the least. At first I thought those were poppin' music buttons, but it turns out they kind of look more like the normal arcade buttons. A little disappointing, but that's okay. She still has the DDR move and the and the keyboard, I suppose. It's close enough. But yeah, anyway, it should be a relatively interesting game. I thought Stvicious actually went offline, so it's kind of nice that I was able to catch him in this game on accident. But he is with Salce on Shamrock Malphite. So they're going to have an interesting combo. I'm not sure why Stvicious actually playing Mundo. Mundo really kind of fell out of favor. Not 100% sure why. Maybe it's just because his gap closing ability is not really up to par. He does have that increased movement speed, but a lot of people have just been doing a lot of slows lately. Although, however, I am very interested to see a Janna Sivir combo. That is a lot of movement speed for this team. Not to mention, I mean, Irelia is pretty fast just inherently. And then again, when you use, or when you hit a champion with Cassiopeia's Noxious Blast, it increases her movement speed. So there is a lot of movement speed buffs onto the red team. So we're gonna have to see how like Ezreal, Malphite, Mundo, Ahri, and Sona kind of deal with that. I mean, Sona does have that AoE CC to kind of help out a little bit. So does the Malphite. Malphite will have a great initiation, possibly a good gap closer if they're trying to run away. Mundo, of course, has those cleavers that's really going to help out. Ahri has her charm, which is also, pretty long range, of course. And it looks like both teams are playing a little bit aggressive. Blue team's going really aggressive onto their jungle, their top jungle, which is not a very common place to really be counter jungling, especially against a Nocturne jungler. Nocturne doesn't necessarily need blue, but they more often than not go blue. So they might just be kind of looping around, trying to get in a bush so that they can jump on whoever comes through. And that might happen, but some of them might be falling off. And now, yes, it looks like Sona was disconnected the whole time. She just came back. So great job by her. Congratulations for fixing internet problems. Ezreal's going to finally recall and possibly get back. Yes, it looks like Sona will get a Vision Ward and 4 Sight Wards and 2 health potions. That's a lot, especially without having boots or anything. I'm a little worried for her, 'cause she's kind of squishy. She only has 36 armor, so she may get poked down quite a bit from Sivir. The Boomerang Blade is crazy burst. And I don't know how, especially if she gets hit by a Nado. If she gets hit by a Tornado, and then Sivir does an auto attack, reset Bouncing Blade, and then hits the Boomerang Blade after that. Oh my gosh, it's going to be pretty much life-threatening for the Sona. Sona actually throws a ward here just to make sure that her red buff doesn't get counter-jungled, and looks like, yes, wow, a great call by the Sona. And they are going to ping it out almost right away. And now they're coming in, but Nocturne notices that they're all missing, and they are able to see it. Nocturne is backing off. Cassiopeia comes with reinforcement, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. He's just going to go after these big wraiths. So great job by them. And Mundo just goes directly for the opponent's red. He knew that they took it because, obviously that red is still there. And it doesn't look like should be noticed. Yeah, they did. They definitely saw the buff coming out. And yes, they are going to back off finally. Nocturne has finally given up on the red buff. Very unfortunate for him, but overall, just great job him being able to apply that pressure. But even better job by the blue team to make sure that it didn't actually happen. And wow, those cleavers are really just missing left and right. That's not going to be good. Hopefully improves his aim a little bit more later on in the game. So those cleavers are very necessary to hit in order to be really useful. And wow, so Malphite's doing a good job up top against this Irelia, which is kind of surprising because Mundo was up in the top lane for quite some time. Probably stole quite a bit of experience, almost a wave, maybe a wave and a half of experience. And now Sona again goes really close to death. She does go down, and now it looks like another Boomerang Blade. Oh, she runs the wrong way, but she does actually pick it up anyway. Great job by the Sivir being able to pick up that double kill, and that's not going to be good for their team at all. So now it looks like Mundo is gonna be forced to cover this bottom lane. Don't think he's going to be able to get much done, especially if Sivir throws out a Boomerang Blade and it hits both times. It's going to be really bad. Mundo's going to be able to clear out these pretty easily. And yeah, Sivir and both Sivir and Janna are going to go back and buy some stuff. That double kill gold and the 2 assists are really going to help. So 2 Doran's Blades coming out from Sivir and a Vamp Scepter. That is huge to have at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. That is a lot, especially opposed to the Ezreal, who still just has boots and 3 potions. It's not going to be good for it. Ezreal's going to have a lot of time, and Irelia is now going in onto the Malphite, trying to do as much harass as she can. And that hit-and style is really doing work onto the Malphite. That true damage really, really helps because he's a very high armor-based champion, and so that's going to propose an issue. Cassiopeia actually getting a very early blue buff, so that's a little surprising. I think they just took that from, I believe they took that because I don't think... Yeah, I don't see any other blue buffs on here. Uh-oh. Okay, Irelia can spot it out. It's smashed with the cleaver, gets exhausted, and she does get the stun off, flashes the cleaver. Very unfortunate. The cleaver is just slightly off range. She is able to burn her flash and get away safely, though, and that's all that really matters. But that stun really saved her, and so did the flash. She had to use quite a bit to get out of there, but looks like she is going to be staying in lane. She does have high health. She just doesn't have that flash. Wow, she's going really hard onto the Malphite. Malphite's able to flash out of the way this time, though, because he's able to flash and get completely away. Irelia already used hers, so she wasn't able to follow up on that, and I don't think she would have been able to get out of there safely, even if she did flash onto him. So now Malphite's just going to clear this wave as fast as possible, and then go back to base, because he's really going to need it. And now, Cassiopeia with that blue buff is so terrifying, just because she's able to throw out so many spells. And the Bouncing Blade with the Boomerang Blade coming out from Sivir is really, really strong. She is pretty slow, but it's still going to do a lot of damage. And Mundo is going really close to dying. But Cassiopeia is getting a little low on mana. That blue buff is really going to help, though. She does only have a little bit of time left on her blue buff, so I don't know if they're actually going to get her the blue buff again when it comes up right away, or if they might wait a while. And it's still going to 2v2 mid. Both junglers went back, as well as Cassiopeia from mid. It's going to be pretty interesting to see who starts roaming first, because Ahri's usually an incredibly strong roamer, so she may just push really hard, go back and buy, and then start roaming, but she's going to need the backup from Mundo to go into mid lane and just continue to farm and kind of protect the tower. So we may see Mundo go into mid here, attempt a gank. If it doesn't work, yes, and here goes Ahri is going to go towards bottom. Red team does have a ward in this bush, but... Okay, so Mundo just pinged out this, and he is going towards Wraiths. He does see that black part from Nocturne's Q, and it looks like he is going to encounter him right away. I don't think Nocturne knows. Nocturne was able to pick up. Oh my gosh, the fear coming off, and it doesn't fear him in the right direction. The slow does not connect, but it would have been spell shielded anyway. Great try by Mundo. He's able to just see the last bit of the trail from that Dustbringer, and that was just absolutely phenomenal. And now Irelia is still getting a little bit harassed out. She's going to throw on her Hidden Style and do a little bit of true damage, but not a lot. Only one auto attack. Now Malphite gets the ground slam, reducing her attack speed by quite a bit. And she is at about half when Malphite is still at full health. This is not looking good for the Irelia so far. Irelia has 50 creep kills as opposed to Malphite's 32, though. So yes, she is taking a lot of harass, but she is definitely farming incredibly well. And so far, Ezreal has 46 creep kills against oh my gosh, Sivir's 61, and that is not going to be good. So he's down quite a bit, but oh yeah, he's down a significant amount of creep kills as well as that double kill, including first blood. Sivir's going to be probably about 1,000 or 2,000 ahead. Maybe not 2,000, but maybe about 1,000. Let's see. So she is at 3,000 when Ezreal is at 2,000. So yeah, 1,000 ahead. Very, very unfortunate for the Ezreal, and he's really going to need to farm and come back. They're going to have to provide pressure at one of the other lanes. Malphite's coming up, trying to do some harass. He does get stunned by the Irelia, making Irelia come out on top of that trade. He does have those health potions. It's not going to really matter too much. But Nocturne is spotted out by that ward, and yes, Ahri is going to get away from that. She does not want to get initiated onto. And Malphite's coming out. Yes, they do see it, and it looks like Malphite may be coming out with his ultimate. Yes, the ultimate now coming out, and the ult from Cassiopeia being able to stun. It looks like Ahri does go down from the poison, and now Mundo's coming out, and he's really low. If he gets one hit from that Dustbringer, yes, it will take him down, and now it's just going to be the Malphite. Very, very unfortunate exchange. That was a 2 for 0 in the favor of the red team. Great job by the red team, just being able to take that out. And another great bouncing blade. She knew exactly how many times it was going to bounce and knew how many creeps there were, so guaranteed damage onto the champions. And just wonderful job by that Sivir. She's pushing down the tower really hard too. Yeah, and it looks like Janna is going to help with her tornado, and it looks like a boomerang blade may come out here. Yes, and again it does smash Sona in the back of the face just a little bit, just to say hello. And And this could be very, very aggressive move from Sivir. I don't know if she's actually going to keep going for the tower or if she's just going to keep trying to harass as much as possible. Those auto attacks are doing so much to that Sona. Sona only has a fairy charm. That's the only item that she has. She doesn't even have boots yet. She's incredibly slow. And wow, Sivir's just clearing out those waves super fast. Ahri's going to be able to pick up that blue buff, and she really needs that blue buff. But at the same time, oh my gosh. So getting counter jungled is definitely never a good thing, especially when the big wraith is always being taken by Cassiopeia. I think that's the second or third time Cassiopeia was able to take that out. She also has an early Negatron cloak before anything else. She does have the Sork shoes to help out with the damage, but she has that Negatron cloak to really reduce the damage coming out from Ahri, as well as Mundo's cleavers and the ultimate from Malphite. So Cassiopeia is going a pretty defensive build. She is a little bit ahead, and she just wants to keep it that way. You know, as long as her items stay in check with the other AP champion and just has some defenses, it's not gonna be that bad. I mean, she's gonna be able to survive longer in fights. And then she's also going to be able to dish out more damage, or the amount of damage that she would if she wasn't, you know, completely fed or anything like that. I mean, Ahri's only down by 10 CS, but she's Cassiopeia also has a kill and an assist, so it's significantly going to increase her her gold income just from that. And as you can see, it's almost up by 1,000 at this point. And now the red team is going on a really aggressive dragon. It's been 11 minutes, about 12 minutes. This is usually the time that we do see the dragon. And a ward now coming out from Sona. She is level 6. She might go for... Oh, great try by Ezreal trying to pick that up. They do have a pink ward in this bush, and so they did see them coming, and they decided that they didn't even need to pull it out of the dragon pit, which is a pretty ballsy move in my opinion, because that was really close from Ezreal almost being able to pick that up with a mystic shot. But overall, red team's doing a phenomenal job just taking control of this game. At 12 minutes, they're already up by 5,000 gold. And that's a lot of gold to be up at 12 minutes. That's really significant. And now, it looks like Sona is getting initiated on. And yes, there goes the ult from Nocturne. And he's exhausted. He's going to be able to do enough damage. Is that Dustbringer going to be able to help him? He does get ignited and shielded. It looks like he got completely baited. Ezreal goes down, and now Mundo goes down. A great tornado coming out from Janna, being able to pop him up, and the double kill coming out. Ahri does miss, and it looks like she doesn't have any more charges on her ultimate. She's not going to be able to follow up on that. Very disappointing. I think if she would have went for the Nocturne, that would have been a guaranteed kill. And especially shut down his killing spree. So I think she just went onto the wrong target there. Yeah, it's great, of course, to kill their AD carry. 100% good, but if someone's on a killing spree and your team's behind, you really need to shut down that person. You know, just kind of get him out of the game for a little bit. Plus, he was already really low, and she would have got some bonus gold from killing him. Overall, I'm a little disappointed in that Ahri's decision, but it's possible that he might have just been in the fog of war just in the nick of time. She wasn't able to see him. And now it looks like both members of the red team are just going down simultaneously. They're going down to bottom. They might be going really aggressive and taking this tower now. They do have dragons, so there's no real need for them to take down this tower besides just getting an advantage. They already have a pretty high advantage, so again, there's no real reason. They don't really want to let Ezreal farm, although at this point, I don't know if Ezreal is really going to make a huge impact later on in the game. He does throw down his ultimate. He doesn't want to lose this tower. Of course, he does want to give them that a little extra lead. He does actually whiff that Mystic shot onto the minions. Not going to be good, but now, Nocturne is in their jungle. I don't think his ultimate is up. No, his ultimate is still down. There's no creeps here, so it's kind of a waste. There's a nice little stroll in the jungle, I suppose, from the Nocturne. Malphite might have seen him. I don't think he did, though. It just could have been a coincidence. Now Nocturne's going in mid. He's going to try to push back these creeps, just get a couple extra creep kills, just for funsies. Yeah, he's going to pick those up. Then he's just going to go around. Cassiopeia does have blue buff again. She does ward this part of the river, which is a great ward to have, of course, and finally, Sivir is able to pick off that tower with the help of Janna. And yes, it looks like, wow, that they're able to clear creep waves so quickly with the Sivir. Sivir is doing a phenomenal job at farming. She has 133 CS tied with Cassiopeia. And now it looks like Nocturne is going out with the fear, but it's not going to leash fully. And the Unstoppable Force now coming out. Janna's coming in. She is going to throw in her ultimate. The exhaust onto the Nocturne, and he does able to pick up the kill with the help of Sivir. Now the ultimate from Ezreal does miss the Nocturne. Nocturne is solo. He's at 30 health. And yeah, they really need to back up. Very, very close. She gets one more auto attack, that is going to be done. Doesn't quite get the auto attack, and the tornado doesn't quite knock her up. She is going to go down. I don't think she has her flash up. She does not. Unfortunate. I was very disappointed that they weren't able to pick up that double kill, but overall, great play by the red team. They're 10-0 right now, up 10k gold at 15 minutes. Again, this seems like a huge stomp for this team. Very unfortunate, and it's interesting to see in the solo queue that Stvicious and Salce just getting absolutely manhandled, even with Swiffy. So I mean, Swiffy and Denlow are both really good. I'm not too familiar with Wild SnorIax, but I've seen his name a while. I've seen his name around every once in a while, but DJ LAMBO, like, I'm not really familiar with him. Flaresz. Oh, and an ultimate now going on to Ahri. Ahri can't get out of it. She does get leashed onto that fear, and a lot of damage going down onto this Nocturne, but it's not going to happen. And now teleport coming out from Malphite does take too long. He probably should have canceled it. Just that animation alone is good, but he will need to cover this mid tower anyway. And now the ward coming out from Janna in the mid lane, just to see if there's anybody mid, just kind of giving them vision into any entrances, exits between their two jungles. And now Sivir again just throwing out as much damage as she can. In the meantime, Irelia is top. Yes, she is able to take out the Mundo. Wonderful job. So she takes down the tower and then just goes right on to Mundo, being able to pick up that kill. And Mundo's just not doing too well these past couple games. Last game he was just disconnected the whole time. Now this time just kind of feeding a little bit. But yeah, the Unstoppable Force coming out. They are able to pick up that Nocturne, but it went on to Sona. And now Cassiopeia picks up the Malphite, no problems. And I don't know. Yes, a great slow coming down from the Sona. That is going to save the life of Ahri. Wonderful play. Wonderful play from Sona. If she keeps doing that, they might be able to crawl their way back in. It's going to be really scary. They do have one kill. They are on the board now. But they still don't have any towers or any dragons. So it's still in a huge favor for the red team. At this point, what the red team really needs to do is they can pick somebody off, and then Ezreal is able to pick up a kill, and oh no, he gets knocked up by a tornado, and it's not gonna actually pick it up. He does get a little bit of damage, but now oh my god, she gets almost instantly killed by the combination of Cassiopeia and Irelia. A great bait by Janna, just completely bait. Oh my gosh, Ezreal is just a little bit overconfident, trying to do what he could. Janna 0019, so she's doing a wonderful job of supporting her team, a part of almost every single kill, and red team picks up another dragon, and that's really going to cause them to go back. Almost everybody on that team has at least 1,000 gold, so it's pretty close, and it's definitely going to help them. Later on, they're probably going to group up, possibly go for the Baron. It's 18 minutes. It is kind of early, but Cassiopeia is a great Baron taker, and of course so is Sivir if she pops her ult. Janna with her shield on Irelia would be absolutely detrimental to to the Baron. Baron would not be able to survive very long with that kind of assault on him. But I just don't know if they want to put themselves in that position to where you can get an unstoppable force from Malphite on pretty much all 5 of them inside the Baron pit, and then followed up by the Sona ult. That could be game-changing completely. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen quite yet, but I'm assuming that the red team is plotting something here pretty soon. Not sure why Sivir actually kind of tried to make a little detour in the Dragon's Den. Dragon was just taken by them, and she was there for it, so I don't know what that was about. But that's fine. It doesn't really impact anything on the game. It's just interesting to look at certain players' mannerisms at this high ELO and find out what they do. Oh, and a great cleaver coming out. Is she going to flash over? No, the Unstoppable Force now coming out. She is. No, she isn't. She isn't. It looks like she was trying to flash over, but then she just got blocked out by the fatness that is Mundo and Malphite. So very unfortunate by Irelia's part, but that unstoppable CC is just too much. Now the Ezreal ult coming out, not actually hitting any of the minions, which is or champions for that matter. So the tower goes down in bottom, and now the only tower that's up on the outside is going to be that top lane, and that's pretty common for that to be the last tower that goes down for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but it does happen more often than not. Cassiopeia picking up blue buff once again, and that's going to make her even stronger in these team fights. As far as creep kills go, or as overall gold, Sivir has 8,400 gold, which is absolutely huge. It's almost double what Ezreal has on the opposing team. Not quite there, but it's pretty much double what everybody else has on the team. Rona's around 4,500, and yeah, it's pretty rough. I don't know how they're going to come back from this. They're significantly under-itemed. They have a lot of basic beginner parts of the items, but then you look at Irelia, and she has the Brutalizer with the Trinity Force already, and then you see an Infinity Edge Seal. And Mundo now getting caught out. He is slowed down by the Irelia, and now feared. And she goes down almost instantly with a 5-man gank up top, and now they're going directly onto Baron. Let's see how this transpires, because I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything without that Mundo. Mundo is supposed to be a crazy tank, and yeah, it looks like they might just let this go. Baron's at 6,000 health, going down pretty quickly. Almost at, yes, 4,000 now. Looks like he might go down. He's 2,000. Ahri comes in. The ultimate now from Ezreal does come out trying to steal it. But the Nocturne takes it, and the Unstoppable Force coming out right before he dies. And that is going to be a 4-for-1. So they were able to pick up the Nocturne. That's always good, but they still have 4 very, very strong members of the red team with that Baron buff, and it looks like Flash Tornado, that might be a surrender vote. Yes, it looks like that is a surrender vote. Wow. Okay, so that was, again, one of those games that was just kind of, I don't know. I hate saying that it was a stomp, but majority of it was blue team had 3 kills for 17. They were down by 17,000 gold at 22 minutes, which is a lot. It's a lot of gold. If you have almost double gold of the minutes, so if you have 20 minutes, you had 40k. That's insane. It's almost unheard of. So the fact that they got that close to it, that's really impressive. But overall, great gameplay by the red team, and so congratulations to them. GG to the blue team. Hopefully they kind of compile a little bit better next time. Yeah, if you guys like my videos, make sure to hit that like button. Hit this giant subscribe button in the middle of your screen. If you want to see any of my next videos, you can click this next video button here or up here, or any previous videos, you can check it out up there. Again, guys, thanks for watching, and everything you do really does help the channel. And I'm still looking for a new name for my for this particular show, the Daily High ELO Casting. I have a couple ideas, but nothing is in concrete yet. I know you guys have been pitching ideas, and I'm definitely taking all of them into consideration. So please submit any ideas that you have, and whoever can come up with the idea that I use, or majority, like if you tell me to use a specific keyword or whatever, I will be giving out a $20 RP card for you, and if I can get a skin, definitely toss you over a skin code as well. So yeah, just keep the ideas flowing. I really appreciate it, but all the help I can get, I definitely need. So I'm not very creative, but everything you guys do really helps. So thanks again, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.